See, I'm gonna show you a stipend filter. How to get elite trophies, all these elite stuff, for freaking like $750,000 or whatever. So this is a stipend filter. The first right here, you don't want to put nothing. Of course, elite. This 104,000, I think, and there. So here you go.
It was day one of minicamp for the Patriots.
Keep on buying
at least a dozen key members of the team not on the field today, including Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola. We know both of those receivers are coming back from off-season surgeries. Rob Gronkowski also nowhere in sight, and when asked where his tight end was, Bill Belichick.
It's a good 3-point shoot. George Hill. Tony Parker. Tim Duncan. Another Tony Parker. Christian Porzingis, I already have him. Julius Randolph, already have him. Brandon Knight. No.
Judy Batista is in Foxborough because we need a translator.
JJ. Okay, I forget his name.
I mean, tell me something.
I like it.
Doing other things, Dan. There were 13 players missing from practice. You mentioned Edelman and Amendola. Expected to recover from
Danny
surgery.
Green, good
As
3-point
for
shoot.
Gronkowski, he is here in Foxborough. I'm told by a team source.
JJ.
He is just not practicing. He hasn't been practicing during the off-season workouts, but I am told it is not contract related. He is not upset about his contract, certainly not enough to be staging a holdout. That's not what this is. And so the feeling here is that they're giving him rest. There's frankly not a whole lot of reason why Rob Gronkowski would have to practice during minicamp. And so there's nothing to be alarmed about. This is not a holdout. He's here. He's been around Gillette. He told reporters on Sunday when he was at a charity appearance that he's been around Gillette all along. So everybody take a deep breath in Foxborough. Gronk is fine.
Certainly not a unique situation, resting star players during minicamp. All right, the quarterback situation is a familiar one. Jimmy Garoppolo once again preparing to start the season with Brady's suspension back on. Are the Pats handling this in the same way that they did last year?
Well, last year at this time, they had the two of them operating with members of the first team going side by side up and down the field. Now, we didn't see exactly that today. As a matter of fact, in the team portion of practice, Brady was always taking the first reps in the group, and then Garoppolo would come in with some of the first teamers. Let me give you a few stats for whatever practice stats are worth to you. Brady was 11 of 15 when they were in 11 on 11s. Garoppolo was 13 of 17 and 11 on 11s after practice.
Got Jay Slender for his name.
Certainly, they hope that by the time they get back to the training camp in late July, there'll be greater clarity on Tom Brady's availability, and then they can adjust the practice reps accordingly.
All right, Judy Batista with the latest from Foxborough and the Patriots since 2000. September has been the Patriots' worst month in terms of winning percentage. Still better than most in the league, but that is the Patriot way. Lindsay?
Interestingly, Ike here was on a team that went through a relatively similar situation back in 2010. Roethlisberger was suspended for the first 4 games. How did you guys handle preparing for the season in that instance?
So we had Charlie Batch and we had So just defensive-minded, who was like, we got to keep the score in reach all the time. It can't be a blowout. We don't want these quarterbacks coming from behind. Went 3-1. And when Big Ben came back, it was right.
So you think that's probably the way that the Patriots defenders are?
Got to. I mean, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. There's only one Tom Brady. You give Tom Brady Wes Walker. You give Tom Brady Amendola. You give Tom Brady just pretty much any receiver. He's going to make that receiver. From a no-name receiver to a receiver that we're going to talk about, possibly a Pro Bowl receiver. When Tom Brady had a first-round receiver, Randy Moss, in 3 years, 50 touchdowns in 52 games. Again, 50 touchdowns in 52 games.
Right. And speaking of receivers, that's going to be their linchpin. That's what they're going to focus on. If they can't have their greatest player on the field, then you lean on the next best thing. And that's Julian Edelman. That's Rob Gronkowski. Expect them to be heavy in the playbook. When they game plan for the first 4 games, you're going to see them everywhere. You'll see Gronk coming out the backfield, running inside, outside routes, and Edelman doing exactly what Edelman does, making plays all day long. You're not going to put all the pressure on Garoppolo as a second-tier quarterback and expect him to be Tom Brady.
You kind of simmer down that offensive playbook, too. You know, when Brady gets to the line, he likes to make his checks off what he sees.
Right.
With Jimmy, you might wait till you feel comfortable enough, or wait till when you think he's comfortable enough to do that. But for right now, simmer down that offensive playbook, let Jimmy be Jimmy. Jimmy's not Tom Brady.
And the Patriots are the best at working with what they got.
No question.
You got to get that to Belichick.
No question.
We just saw him. He's not panicking, so why should we?
Yeah, they certainly know how to make the most of what they have.
Still to come on NFL Total Access.
After only 2 wins and countless hits, he fell 85 spots on the top 100 list. One step the next great NFL quarterback. How can Andrew Luck just get back to good?
I'm curious how you do that.
Sammy Watkins looked like a veteran. Amari Cooper made it look easy. But it's not just athleticism, and it is not an accident. Nate's the wideout.
I get low.
Ike's the corner. Rookie receiver. That's the subject.
But first, we're live in Philly. We know the Chip Kelly experiment didn't work, but what about the Doug Peterson project?
I'm not going to look in the past.
How's that balancing act going between the guy you traded for and the guy you paid for?
Next on NFL Total Access.
NFL Total Access is brought to you by Allstate. It's good to be in good hands.
What's it like to be in good hands? Man, it's like pure power at your fingertips.
Aaron Gordon.
To earn Allstate reward points every time I drive.
Shoot, what is up? Is that freaking ew? Ew. Jerry Clarkson. Ew.
I see you, car, and I got the power to know who's coming and when if I break down. You must be Jerry. Alright? N means getting more from your car insurance. The all-powerful drive-bys app.
It's good to be good. Good riddance.
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C.
Now you can go where no one has ever gone. Go into the greatest locker room ever assembled. A spectacular new and exclusive hologram figure debuts this summer at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hear their stories in a dynamic, immersive experience of light and sound that will leave you and your family inspired. It's a game for life, and it's free with your admission to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. A bucket list must for the family. Come to football heaven at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the most inspiring place on earth.
It still blows me away to think I would have a chance to do basketball.
My mom was a part of that movement. She was a little girl during that time.
This is Access.
The bar here, we spend all our time right here, too.
You let anyone in, huh? No fly zone over there.
Coons and Woody.
These are the stories.
Got a degree in chemical engineering because he thought he was going to go with his dad into the oil business.
Remember the whole Build-A-Bear thing? So I said, build your ideal elite quarterback.
What was it like being the white kids on a mostly black team back then?
I didn't even know there was a difference.
I like it.
This is NFL 360.
Eagles minicamp kicking off today in Philly with equal rep distribution amongst the quarterbacks. Doug Peterson keeps telling us that Sam Bradford is his guy, but he's been giving Carson Wentz and Chase Daniel as much time as him on the field. And he says that could continue for a while.
Frank Reich and myself, we're still kind of discussing how we're going to handle training camp. This will not be the last